Hi everyone. So today I'm going to be talking about how to complete a source analysis. So a source part of your folio is going to be a series of source analyses which analyze your sources, and it shows that you have picked good quality sources that are relevant to your research project. So you've all would have by now, I'm hoping, collected quite a few number of sources, and you can now start to analyze some of these sources and looking specifically at the following features that I'm going to be talking about today. So when you set out a source analysis, you can either have one source analysis per page or two, depending on how much information the source analysis has that is related to your question. So this source analysis, for example, there are two source analyses. There's actually two videos, uh, two websites, this one here and this one here. So firstly, you need to include the source of information, and then you need to include the key findings. So this is a summary of the information that you grabbed from this website that is related to your question. Okay, and you can actually use this information uh, and uh, and grab it quite quickly and put it into your outcome later on. So this should be in your own words, and it should just be a summary. Now, when you analyze a source, you should be looking for reliability, bias, and validity or credibility. So reliability refers to how reliable is the source of information. So if it's most recent, if it was updated this year or last year, it means it's very reliable because it's the most recent and current information. Uh, Also, if it has an author as well, that makes it a more reliable source of information. And I'll put up a document to help you with how to analyze sources of information and what you should be looking for. So bias, you also need to comment on that, and that means does the author of this website have something to gain by convincing them of or convincing you of their point of view? And you often will look for advertising. Are they asking you to buy their book for more information? Are they only looking at one side of the argument? And those are all signs that an article may or may not be biased. Now, validity or credibility is firstly, how qualified is the author? So if you're looking at, for example, how to build a bridge and you're looking at it from an engineering point of view, you should be looking for a person that has qualifications in engineering rather than, say, me telling you how to build a bridge. I'm not qualified to tell you how to do that. Therefore, I'm not a very valid or credible source of information. Now, when you also complete a source analysis, you'll be asked to talk about skills and knowledge that you've developed. So skills could be learning how to analyze a source of information, learning how to find information that's relevant to your topic within the uh, website. Another skill, if you're doing an interview, which you could use as a source analysis, is learning how to interview someone and learning how to write interview questions. That's a skill that you've developed. Whereas the knowledge is basically what have you learned or have you developed? What new information have you developed that you didn't know previously that you do know now? Now, you can also look at how this information relates back to your sub-question as well. And I'm going to be putting up several examples of these on Moodle for you to have a look at, particularly for the template as well, and what should be included on a source analysis. So this is another folio, another source analysis. So this one's looking at the use of EPO in in professional sport and whether it should be something that they could consider using. Anyway, and so this person has included their reference, they've included what new knowledge have they learned. They've also looked at what questions still need to be answered because that gives an idea of, well, this source of information answered these questions, but I still need to answer this question and this component of my research project. So they've also talked about it being biased or trustworthy, and is the source reliable as well. It's really important when you talk about bias, trustworthiness, and reliability that you explain why you think a source is reliable or trustworthy or it's biased. Now, the other part in the source analysis that you need to include is your capability development. So how has this source particularly helped you to develop your capability? And I can help you with this along the way because the first source analysis, you'll be a bit lost about how you're actually developing your capability. But once you get the hang of it, it'll be much easier. Now, this source analysis also has how the information in this source relates to their sub-question, which is really important because you are being assessed on your development of knowledge specific to the research question. So there's no point analyzing sources of information that don't really have anything to do with your question. So it's really important that you show that I chose this source of information because it's relevant to this part of my question and this part of my question. Okay, and I will put this example plus other examples up on in Moodle for you to have a look at.